Ukraine War, the struggle for Bakhmut and the fading international support. In this in-depth report, we examine the ongoing war in Ukraine, focusing on the battle for the eastern Ukrainian city of Bakhmut and the challenges faced by the Ukrainian forces in terms of ammunition, weapons, and international support. We will analyze the potential consequences of this conflict on the global stage and explore the complex and harrowing reality of the Ukrainian war. Part 1: The Battle for Bakhmut. A year ago, Volodymyr and his men from the 17th Tank Battalion were firing all 40 barrels of their BM-21 Grad rocket launcher at Russian targets. Now, due to a shortage of ammunition, they can only afford to fire a few at a time. Russian forces are inching closer to capturing the city, but not without paying an enormous price. Ukraine has already exhausted its stocks of Grad ammunition, relying on rockets sourced from other countries such as the Czech Republic, Romania, and Pakistan. However, the quality of the rockets originating from Pakistan has been criticized as subpar. As the war drags on, Ukraine's calls for more weapons and ammunition grow louder. Part 2: The Aging Arsenal. Despite the recent arrival of modern weapons, such as tanks and armored vehicles, Ukraine remains heavily reliant on its older, Soviet-era arsenal. The Russian-made Buk air defense system, which can target aircraft, drones, and missiles, is still one of its prized possessions. However, Ukraine is experiencing an acute shortage of Buk missiles and struggles to maintain the system due to a lack of spare parts. Part 3: Leaked U.S. intelligence reports. A cache of classified U.S. documents was leaked online earlier this month, revealing detailed intelligence gathered on the war. While some of the contents of these reports have been disputed, they underscore the dire situation facing the Ukrainian armed forces. Russia is still unaware of the timing or place of Ukraine's expected offensive, which will be critical in taking back territory and relieving pressure on the front lines. Part 4: The Fight for Resources. Both sides of the conflict are struggling to arm and equip new units to conduct offensives. Ukrainian troops from the 80th Brigade are expending hundreds of artillery rounds daily, trying to repel Russian advances. While they are using some weapons supplied by the West, such as the British-made L-119 light artillery gun, they still face a severe shortage of ammunition. Part 5: The Make or Break Year. Many believe that this year will determine the fate of Ukraine. If the country manages to go on the offensive and retake its land, it may emerge victorious. However, if it fails to do so, the resources required to sustain the war for another 5 to 10 years may not be available. Part 6: Fading Western Support. Volodymyr, the commander of the Grad, expresses concern that Western allies may be growing tired of helping Ukraine. The country's exhaustion and the economic toll of the war have raised fears that if decisive action is not taken on the battlefield this year, Western support may falter. Conclusion: The battle for Bakhmut highlights the urgent need for ammunition, weapons, and international support for the Ukrainian forces. The outcome of this conflict will have lasting consequences, both for Ukraine and the global political landscape. As the war continues to unfold, the international community must decide how best to support Ukraine in its struggle for independence and territorial integrity.